let's be honest, you didn't get to see what you expected and stuff. I thought it was exactly what we were looking at when we were breaking it down. What was going to happen? Gamrot was looking for the takedown. He tried tree chopping him a couple of times, and Fiziev showed great technique, great balance, a lot of athleticism. But you saw that Gamrot was actually starting to get into taking him down. Took him down. Fiziev, very intelligently moved himself over towards the cage, used the cage to get himself back to his feet. And then you had the freak accident of, he hurt something in his leg. I still don't know what it is. I'm not sure that they do right now either, but he injured himself off of a kick, and it was the end of the fight. The kick, the leg landed kind of on the elbow, but I'm not sure that that's exactly what was the injury part.
No, it was actually the other leg. It was the planted leg. It wasn't the one he kicked with.
So then, do you believe it was the knee?
I believe it was the knee, but then when I saw the replay, they were massaging out his quad.
His quad, I know. It's like, did he tear his quad? I don't know.
I didn't look like it.
And it's still, I looked to see. No, it didn't look. Look, his inner quad was there. You saw his outer quad, going there. Because normally you'll see it gets wadded up in there. But I went and I looked online to see if there was, they came up with something. And
nothing yet.
No, there's nothing that has officially been said about what type of injury he received.
Yeah, Dave, can you maybe take a look at it and see maybe if there's something that came up in the last, 20 minutes or so or an hour? If something came up on what the actual injury was. I mean, from everything I read, it said knee. And it said knee? It said his knee. So knee injury. It reminds me of Patrick Cote and Anderson Silva. Okay. Remember when he kind of hopped in and he was actually, he was doing well. He had
but you could actually see his pop.
Yeah, his knee moved and shifted.
You could actually see it, as the replay showed, and a lot of times you'll see it. Didn't see anything with it. And I'm not saying, obviously it happened because he went down right away and it wasn't, the guy has kicked everything, there is. So he knows how to kick and he kicks hard as hell. He is incredibly fast.
Oh,
I love watching that guy move.
It wasn't just his kicks, John, and his punching. His takedown defense was fucking super impressive.
Oh, dude, he was just incredible. Yeah.
Cat-like reflexes. I mean, his flexibility. When you look at him, you think to yourself, this guy's not that flexible. You saw Gamrot try to tree top him, and he just balanced on one foot, and then he was able to turn his knee down and then get out. I wonder, though.
Dude, what are you talking about? He's not flexible. His damn leg was almost straight up and down at one point.
No, that's what I'm saying. When I look at him, I'm thinking to myself, he's not that flexible.
Oh,
but then the reality set in when Gamrot went to tree top him, he had him up on his leg. He was bouncing around. Then he was able to turn his knee down and it's kind of like give it like a little mule kick out. I kind of wonder, though, if his knee was compromised a little bit from those takedown defenses.
It might have been there.
Then the second round, it just finally gave way. Because
very possible.
Yeah, because he was doing some insane stuff when his knee was hiked up. He was also in the scrambles. He was turning himself real fast, explosively left and right. And Gamrot was chasing the legs and wasn't able to get him fully all the way down in that first round. It was very impressive, though. Yeah. I was extremely impressed.
But I was impressed by Gamrot in the way that he was attacking him, as far as he wasn't taking ridiculous shots. He was using his hands to get inside. It's one of those fights when you look and you go, all right, Josh, based upon what you saw, who is going to win that fight?
Oh, I thought it was going to be Gamrot.
Okay.
Yeah. From what I saw, I thought Gamrot was going to win. I just, look, in a 5-round fight, I just think that Fiziev, he showed against Bobby Green, he showed against other fighters.
I will tell you exactly.
To slow down.
He slows down. And using all that quickness and all that energy, I was like, it's probably going to end up starting to go Gamrot, and it ended. But it still could be that Fiziev would
oh, absolutely.
Won. It was a good fight. It was interesting up to that point. It just happens. Guys get injured. It's a tough sport.
Yeah, I didn't get quite enough sample size out of that fight to give an honest answer on who I thought would win. And but from what I saw, the way that Gamrot was able to still keep it on to not get the takedown, but still did some good stuff on the feet in that first round. The way he was chasing the takedowns, but not really jeopardizing his positioning when doing it. That led me to believe that he's going to go ahead and be aggressive throughout the second, the third. And if you take, like I said, the history of Fiziev fighting Bobby Green, Fiziev fighting Gaethje, Fiziev fighting certain guys, right? He explosive. Everything he does comes with a lot of power, a lot of explosiveness. That means that as the fight goes on, it becomes less. Sure, they're more explosive even later on, but there becomes less output on it, so less chance for you to potentially get the knockout and the win. Whereas Gamrot, we saw him against Sarukian, and he was still there in that third, fourth round. Like, he's a dog, and that's majority of those type of wrestlers are. They just the grind. They call it the grind for a reason, because they know that they may not win the first round, and if they do, then that's fine. But then their whole goal is to win you and wear you down second round, win you, wear you down third. This is a 5-round fight, main event status, baby.
Make every round count, make every round harder than next one coming up.
Yeah, and I think that as this fight would have continued to play out, I think Gamrot would have been able to get a takedown here or there in that second round, going into the third. And then as you get one, the second comes a little bit easier, the third comes a little bit easier. And but look, you can never count Fiziev out. And like I said, I didn't get quite enough sample size yet, because you can see the power he possesses in his kicks, his hands, all of those things, body shots, everything he does. It just comes with a ton of heat. So you can't count him out. But I would have leaned towards the wrestlers, to be honest. Yeah.
It was a competitive fight as they were going. But you got to figure it's going to start fairly slow. It's a 5-round fight. There's a lot to go through. And it was going through that progression, and it just ended. It just, that's what happens.
Well, so this is Fiziev's second loss in a row. Can you click on Fiziev? Or did he have a win in between the Gaethje and second loss in a row?
No, Justin Gaethje in his second round.
Pull up the rankings. Where does Fiziev go from here, and where does Gamrot go from here? Let's pull up the rankings.
Well, it's funny, but you got to look. Fiziev was actually ranked ahead of Gamrot, and they've got to switch places.
Yeah.
Even though it was an injury-based TKO win, they've got to switch places. It's a win.
Yeah.
It's part of fighting is self-inflicted injury sometimes is what will end the fight. This is kind of like a self-inflicted injury. Maybe it was based on the elbow, but that was Fiziev hitting that elbow. But it's got to be a switch in those positions at this point.
Well, I look at so for Fiziev, right? He's already fought. He hasn't fought Sarukian yet. He'll be out for a while though, so I'm not really sure how this will all shake out after all of this.
No. Yeah.
Maybe on a return fight, maybe someone like a Grant Dawson.
Possibly.
It depends on how long he's going to be out, but I'd imagine if he did tear something in his knee, he'll be out for at least 9 months. I'd say at least 9 months. I mean, he seems like he's pretty strict about his diet, nutrition, the way he takes care of his body. I think he'll be able to recover and come back probably. And I don't know how old is he? What, 33, 32, 33? Fiziev. Anyways, but that being said, so Fiziev, but then Gamrot, I look at he's already come up short against
30.
Oh, he's 30. So he's right in his prime, which sucks. You're losing a year, 8 months of your prime.
No, he's still young, man. He hasn't even reached that prime.